Hey, 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 hope you're doing well today. Grant Janik here, and this is the first of two videos. This first video is meant to be for those that are having a wedding that I am grateful and honored to be doing your wedding with you and for you. However, I will not be able to be at the rehearsal. So this is the first video, just kind of a general, hey, want to introduce myself, make myself available. If I can be available to connect with you, please feel free to text me or call me at any point. Or even, this is meant to be seen before the rehearsal. If you need to call me or FaceTime me during the rehearsal, I'd love to be available to help answer any questions, things like that. So just an introduction to say hey to obviously the bride and groom, who I hope I already know you, and then the the coordinator as well. Also, just want to let you know that as I am not going to be able to rehearsal, I do have a general, just kind of a lineup and script for what I do. Usually I let the coordinator run through everything that's related to just kind of the lining people up, things like that. And then I'm very grateful. They usually will hand it to me, and I'll just kind of do a simple run through, very basically, try to make it very, very simple. They walk down. I love for the dad to stand, and to the dad's left is the bride, dad, and then I usually have the gentleman come stand there. Then I basically say, hello, welcome. I'm going to be very brief. Who gives this woman to be married to this man? Usually his response is her mother and I. And then I usually encourage, if you want to kiss her on the cheek, give her a hug, and then her right hand into his left hand, and then the bride and groom face me. Say a few more introductory words, pray. Then I usually will step back, and then we'll go through the message, say a lot of things. Usually I want the couple facing me at the very beginning, and probably facing me for about 70% of the time. Then I will have them face themselves, and then hold hands together, work through the three, so to say, things I do's, the vow commitments, and then the rings. The biggest thing that I just need to know is, do they want to write their own vows to each other? Usually they just kind of repeat after me. And so that's that. And then the rings, I usually like whoever has those to get both rings. And then I have him, man of God. I will always have you lead, and you be the first one to speak or say something or lead in the way. When you put on the ring, would love for you to just kind of hold it there in place. Just kind of keep your hand held and hold her hand or his hand, and then hold that on, and then you'll repeat after me a few things. Usually if there's a special element that's right after the I do, vow, rings, and usually we'll step to the side to do maybe a washing of feet, the Lord's Supper, communion. If there's a candle lighting service, sands, I've seen the sands, combining the sands, things like that. If there's a special element, that will be right after all those things. Then my last thing is we come back together. Usually there's music playing during that time too. We'll come back together, and then I will kind of say a few last words. Speak a word of blessing, and then I say, now it is time for you to kiss your bride. And I always step out to the side on that and let the man kiss the woman. And then I have them face out and say, ladies and gentlemen, it's my joy for the first time to pronounce Mr. and Mrs. And that's actually where I would like to hear back from you if I haven't heard already. What do you like to have said, Mr. and Mrs.? His last name, Mr. and Mrs., his name, and his first name, her first name, his last name, or what is the best to say. And I'm happy to do whatever the bride and groom decide is good on that. The other thing I would say is then, if there are any special announcements for me to know, that would be what I would want to know in that. All right, this is video one. I'm going to send a video two, which could be played when everyone gets up to the time, or if you want to choose to play it, bride or groom, you could have this and then play it, or coordinator, play this when you get everyone down the aisle and then everyone stands there, and then you'd be like, all right, Grant's not here, but here's a video of him sort of trying to introduce himself to us. I don't know. It's what it is. Grateful for y'all.